Hi, I'm Awais Khan. I'm today with Mike Hess, who's the CEO of Mariah Power. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Why don't you tell us a bit about Mariah Power? What do you do and what is the product?
Mariah Power is a platform of low-cost, easy-to-install wind appliances that allow you to generate your own power from 1 kilowatt all the way up to 10 kilowatts today. The price is about $5,000 for a single kilowatt. It's 50% of a traditional propeller system, and it's 60% less than solar for the same size.
Okay, and you want to tell about the shape of the product. It's very unique, it's very innovative. And
it's a propeller which spins horizontally. We're vertical. We spin on a vertical basis. We're the first one to be tested by NREL, the National Renewable Energy Lab, and pass our test and successfully show proof of technology and performance, which is a huge accomplishment for us.
So in terms of the ease of installation, right, and ease of use, how easy is it for a residential customer to start using the product?
Well, we designed it so it's put together on a hinge. And you lay it down on the ground, you drill a hole 6 foot deep, 24 inches wide, and you fill it with concrete. And it bolts to that, and then you put it together in the ground and you lift it up when it comes along. We use a trailer hitch. You can use all kinds of things to pull it up. It's very simple to do, very low cost in terms of orientation, and we have no maintenance. There's no maintenance required in its 20-year life.
In the 20-year life?
20-year life, no maintenance at all.
So what I'm hearing is you probably don't need external help to actually install the product right?
We recommend you have 2 people. We suggest you use a licensed electrician if you're in the States, but each country has its own rules and regulations, and it's relatively simple to connect to a panel.
Sure. So, you mentioned country, right? And when we first spoke, I think that we talked about how effective this could be in developing countries. And I think that, this kind of a product could be much more effective in probably countries like India, China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, all those countries, right? What is your perspective on international growth?
They all have the same advantage. They don't have a lot of infrastructure. They don't have a great grid. So we are distributive power. You can put us anywhere. And basically, if you have the room and the space and the wind, then you can deliver power right locally where you need it. You don't need to put it over a grid. You don't need big transmission lines. And it's very simple to do. And you can manufacture 90% of the product there because it's steel. And every country has its own steel capability. So you just let them manufacture in a local country.
That's great. And you're currently shipping products here locally too and internationally as well, right?
That's correct. We shipped our first product to New Zealand about 2 months ago, and they're doing their own testing. We have one going to Israel at the end of the month, and we have one going into Pakistan in 2 months. So we are slowly expanding people so they can see it and understand it and recognize how it works.
And Costa Rica too, I believe. We caught up some time ago.
Oh, yeah. Costa Rica is one of my favorite places because they're actually going to use it in their state capital area. And for us, that's a huge place for us to show people how it can work in an area where they have huge hurricanes. And in a hurricane, we just tell them to lower it down to the ground, and it's perfectly safe, and it'll go back up when the hurricane passes.
Well, that's great. So speaking about the wind industry in general, right, and what is your perspective on where the industry is heading? Are we going to see more of these innovative small-scale products versus these large wind farms? And where is this going?
Well, I'm sure you've heard Boone talk in terms of what he's saying, and the whole Midwest is going to become nothing but large turbines in terms of what's there, and that makes sense, but there are no transmission lines east and west coast. The other thing I think you really want to recognize is if we can make small turbines that fit into the urban environment, you can solve a whole array of problems. You can do parking lot lighting. You can do street lighting. You can use them in very unique ways because you can change the form factor, make them smaller, thinner, larger based on what you're trying to accomplish. And that means it becomes a part of the environment rather than an external thing where we've got to look at big wind turbines out in the distance. And I think that's a better use of urban technology.
Sure. And how big is your team? And
there's 8 people in the whole company. We want to be large in sale and small in people. It's a really good management team. I'm very happy with what we've accomplished with a reasonable investment in a short amount of time.
Okay, and currently you're doing all the manufacturing locally, right?
Yes, we're manufacturing most of the product in Reno, Nevada, and we've just gotten a loan from approval from the city of Youngstown, Ohio, to build a volume manufacturing plant in Ohio.
Okay, what is the state of the venture industry I think that when I interact with the venture capitalists around the valley, right, sometimes they're reluctant about investment in wind companies. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it also hurts some solar projects as well. Both wind and solar are industrial products. They are not an internet company. They are not a software company, a computer company. So I think the VCs in general have a hard time trying to understand them. But you do see some of the analysts moving away from Morgan Stanley into VC roles now, where they do have the experience, they have looked at industrial products, and that'll help. But they are rather slow when it comes to understanding how would you use this, and how do you create a market in terms of what you're trying to do.
Sure. Any lessons you want to share for other wind entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs?
One, there's a great deal of controversy about the performance of wind. And I think the number one thing you need to do is test your unit, third-party test it, and be able to prove what you're saying in terms of its performance. The second thing is be patient. I probably ended up talking to 60 VCs before I found some that were really able and willing to understand what we were trying to do and help us. And I think that's part of being a startup.
Well, thank you so much for coming, Mike. We wish you all the success in the future.
Thank you very much.